one of the things that new actors face is not knowing where to go to find auditions. You might also experience this as an experienced actor if you move to a new city and you don't know where to look. So we'll talk more about where to find auditions and how to get more of them. Join me after the bump. Hello, friends! I'm Doug Fahl, your augmented actor, helping you augment your acting career with tips and tactics and tech. Oh my! If we haven't met before, this is my channel. Welcome! And if we have met before, welcome back. Okay, so one of the biggest requests and comments that I see is from young actors, new actors, or actors that are moving to a bigger city and they wonder, where do I find auditions? I'm going to talk a little bit about where to find theater auditions for theater actors, and then I'll talk more about film and other sorts of performers later on in the video, so stick around for that. The best way to find new auditions is to be in a show, in my opinion. If you are cast in any kind of play, you will meet tons of other actors and directors and stage managers, lots of different people, and they will inform you of auditions that are coming up and let you know, hey, I'm going to callbacks here, I'm doing that, and you'd be good for this, and you should try this. It's the best way to network and to meet new people. But how do you get that first show? How do you find that audition? Each major acting city has a callboard of some sort. So search for your city and acting callboards online and you should see something. I live in Seattle, so I can really only speak for Seattle's callboards, but in Seattle we have Performers Callboard, which is an email list that is sent out, which includes film and theater. And then we have TPS, which is Theater Puget Sound, and this is a audition callboard that's online and they post auditions. You have to pay a little membership fee to get the actual audition information, but you can at least discover where these auditions are happening. Also, each major city has a place where auditions are generally held. And in Seattle, that place is TPS. It's the 4th floor of the Seattle Center Armory in downtown Seattle, and it is sort of the central hub of the theater and film community. Everybody auditions their shows there, they rehearse there, they have classes there. Every time you go to TPS, you will see people you know, or you'll meet new people. Even if you just go into, say you're in New York, Chelsea Studios is an example in New York. If you go to these places, even if you don't have an audition, you will be around other actors and you'll see all the activity that's going on. You'll hear things through the grapevine about what's being cast and what's not. Now, you can't just show up to these places and expect to get in an audition. That's not how it works. You have to sign up for the auditions in advance. But being around those hubs, if you can take a class or be in rehearsals there, that's where you're going to be able to network a lot. When you do get an audition, going to auditions, cattle calls and stuff like that, great place to network with other actors and find out what's going on. So ask people when you're at those auditions, hey, what do you got coming up? What are you auditioning for coming up? And people will tell you. You can also contact theaters directly. Every big theater or little theater has a website and they almost always post their auditions on the website. So go find out what the theaters are in your area and go to their site. Look for their auditions. It's usually under the job listing section, or they have an audition page. They'll tell you when they have generals, and they'll tell you when they have show-specific auditions. Generals, also look for general auditions. Those will be posted on the callboards at the theater's websites, and those are great to show up to because they are casting multiple shows for sometimes multiple theater companies at the same time. So in Seattle, TPS has a unified general audition twice a year, I believe, and you can go there and audition for like 30 theaters all at the same time for their complete seasons, and then they call you back on a per show basis. And also just get in the habit of going to see shows. Go see plays. If you have an opportunity to meet actors, or if you know somebody in the show, go and meet them afterwards. Tell them how great the show was and everything like that, and ask them questions. Talk to them at that time. That's a great place to network because everybody's in a good mood and they've just seen a show and you are reminded of the power of theater and you're just involved and your face is there and people recognize you and know you. If you've watched this far, now might be a good time to click that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell bell because you don't want to miss the next video I do, right? All right, so now what if you're a film actor? Where do you find film acting auditions? Well, again, there are performers callboards that are geared toward film. Here in Seattle, there's the Northwest Film Forum. School is a great place to learn about auditions. If you were in college, you should know where auditions are happening. There's callboards and stuff all over the place on university campuses. And if you are out of school, you can sometimes go to university campuses. If you don't have a university near you or you're not in school, there are some other options. The number one way to get film and commercial and movie auditions is by getting an agent. That's easier said than done. I'll do another video on that later on. Once you have an agent, they will have access to auditions that you can't see listed anywhere else. Clients come to the agent with a project, the agent puts the word out to their people, and then the people responding and get auditions. But if you have an agent, that's not the only way you can get auditions. You can bring auditions to your agent and work together with them to form a relationship where you're constantly looking and constantly making your own work along the way. Casting directors are another great resource for finding film auditions. Look up the casting directors in your area and go to one of their classes. Pay the $200 or whatever it is and take a class with them. Just being in a class will get you noticed by the casting director. They'll put a name with a face, they'll have your headshot and resume, they'll see your work, and you might hear about other things while you're in class. And also with film, anytime you're on set with somebody, use that time to network with people. Every project I do leads on to another project because I talk to the people and I say I'm interested and I say I'm not getting enough auditions or I want to do certain things, and they say, well, have you tried this? Have you gone to this place? Have you applied here? Now, if you're looking to find big films, international projects, movies, television series, things like that, the best places to find those are to be in these bigger markets like LA, New York, London. You have an agent and representation in those areas. However, there are national sites here in the States like Backstage.com, Variety. There's union sites like SAG-AFTRA and Equity that you can find listings if you're a union. And then there's casting callboards like Casting Networks, Casting Frontier, which are kind of regionally based auditions. These kind of sites are helpful for some people. They're kind of hit and miss. You have projects of all different kinds being posted on these sites, and success rates for actors is often rather limited. So use those with caution. Avoid sites like Craigslist for auditions because you're going to tend to get crappy projects that don't really have much merit to them, or you might get yourself in some situation you don't want to be in. But still, a lot of these sites, you can submit tapes and you can get seen, and people do have success. But the best advice for that is to wait until you're in those markets, move to those bigger cities so that you're in and around that community. And those kind of projects don't usually cast out of general national casting calls. They usually find their people in the city that they're in. So the most important lesson to learn is this information is out there. It is online. Just do search for your city and audition listings. Do a search for performers callboards in your area, agents, casting directors, classes, and start putting yourself out there. It doesn't matter where you put yourself out there. If you go do a community theater audition, just start asking people at the audition, hey, where do you find your auditions? Where's the best place to go? I'm new here in town. Ask a few questions and pretty soon you're going to be connected. And the more you get yourself out there and the more you network, the more you're going to hear about the auditions, and they're going to just sort of fall into your lap. And once you're established as an actor, people start calling you with auditions, and that's a great place to be. And so I hope you get there soon if you're not there yet. Now, a lot of actors in different areas watch this video and they are all wondering where to find auditions in their city. So leave a comment down below and tell me where you find auditions in your city. And tell me what city you're in too. Now, I hope you discovered something useful in this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel so you can get more useful information coming down the pike. And I have some suggestions for videos that you can watch up here or down in the descriptions below, so check that out. And have a great day. Keep on acting like you know what you're doing.